They have their extracurricular that takes up all hours of the night, and then that's where it all comes crashing down, and they're really not physically and mentally capable of dealing with it.
Universities aren't necessarily looking for the kid with the 4.0, 4.10, 4. Whatever. They're looking for somebody who's going to make their school better.
I think you can't get in your child's face and push them to do work. I think it all has to come internally.
Everyone wants to take APs. Everyone thinks about what extracurriculars to do.
Even if you have like perfect SAT scores or like a great GPA, like that doesn't really matter amongst like the sea of other applicants.
There is a definite high expectation of the school board, the administration, the teachers, that this
like everyone has this dream school ideal of I would really fit in at Harvard. I would really fit in at Yale.
I mean, what is college?
STAR test,
right? Like,
on the
I mean, if all you're aiming for is getting to the Ivy League, what happens after you get telling your child that you want them to
unfortunately, the
go
to
to great
aspect
school
of education talking about has been
obviously
taken away, replaced by
it doesn't
have to
translate.
choose
High school career on the line.
High school students today face the most competitive college admissions process ever recorded in history, with schools nearing acceptance rates of 6% and a prevailing attitude that college admissions is a culmination of one's adolescent life. It is no wonder that students today face not only the most competitive application process, but they are also growing up in the most competitive and cutthroat learning environment.
Are you guys taking AP Bio next year?
Yeah.
Yeah? Why are you guys taking AP Bio?
My mom wants me to.
How many of you guys are already thinking about the SAT or ACT? And what grades are you guys in? Freshmen. So, we're making a documentary about college admissions. What do you guys think is makes the ideal college candidate?
lots of extracurriculars.
Lots of extracurriculars?
Leadership skills.
Leadership? Okay.
Being able to manage your time.
Do you feel any pressure with the SATs? Or college admissions?
A little bit.
In what way?
Just stressing on the trying to get into AP stuff like that.
Okay.
And
why are you trying to get into AP stuff?
Well, like everyone's talking about how it's just like here, it's important and stuff like that.
Volunteer hours. Yeah.
Volunteer hours? How many?
Over 200.
What kind of volunteer experience?
I don't know. Community.
Okay. What's a good score? Perfect score is a good score?
Yeah.
Do you settle for anything less?
Yeah.
I'd settle for probably like a 22, 23.
Have you ever taken a practice test?
Yeah.
You have?
Yeah.
What's a good score on the SAT?
2400.
2400.
I'll be happy with it.
Do you need a 2400 to get into Stanford?
It would hurt.
It wouldn't hurt.
Yeah.
Can you get extra credit?
What's someone who gets into Harvard? What should they have?
I guess they should be
Dedication to something.
Okay.
they should be really well rounded. Like they should take a lot of extracurricular activity and still get good grades.
Who do you feel pressure from and why? Your mom, your parents? Okay.
I remember, I grew up in Pennsylvania. It was a different world, a different community, and all of the kids complained about too much homework. The parents complained about too much homework. But I've had a number of parents call me up and say, "Hey, I just want to check. We're not getting enough homework here." Back to school night, open house, parents saying, "Can my son please have more homework?" And I think that's an interesting problem to have.
Whenever you're in class naturally senior year, at least for the people coming in next year, what they'll notice is in most of their classes everyone's going to be talking about, oh, what's your GPA, or just asking about, talking about maybe their summer internship, and you'll get kind of nervous, because everyone's making themselves sound really good, because that's what everyone's doing during the college application.
So there's a lot of pressure from all sides for any student in San Marino to do well. And I think the kind of environment that it creates is one that is actually quite negative. I mean, there obviously are positives. that we've been able to keep up this high level of academic, record of great strength, that we all aim for high academics, but it creates a really cutthroat environment at times, and it also creates one where people no longer go to school really for, I think, the right reasons. For example, I think you should go to school to learn, to make friends, to grow as a person. I think a lot of San Marino students go to school to get the A and to take tests.
That pressure can do one of two things. I mean, it can make a beautiful diamond, or it could just make a worse looking piece of coal.
Okay. I had tutoring since I was in kindergarten, and I never stopped. My parents spent thousands of dollars sending me to tutoring centers. I've had multiple tutors. I went to multiple centers. Yes.
What was your experience there like?
Well, obviously different centers have different experiences, but the thing with tutoring centers is look at the circumstance. Choose one that you think will help you, and know that sometimes it can help, sometimes it can't. So you really need to judge based on the circumstance.
The idea of a tutor, in my opinion, is if you're falling behind in a class, to go to a tutor so you can catch up. Because not all teachers can stay after school towards 4 to 4 and 5 in the afternoon and help you get back on track. You're only given that 1 hour a day, for example, in math. Tutors are meant to help you get back, on track. But in San Marino and around the entire area, tutors are meant to get you ahead. Meant to say, okay, well, as Rachel was saying, you could go buy a Barron's book for $11 for the SAT. Really what these tutoring centers do is that they basically they photocopy these books and they give it to you, they make you test, and they say, okay, you got this score. Really, if you look at it, it's a huge waste of money. And it's created this environment of, okay, well, we're going to spend as much money as we need for my son or daughter to go to tutor to get ahead and to do well on this test or on that test. And really, it's all about self-initiative. And I think another thing this culture of testing has done is that it's made people reliant on tutors, where you don't go to school anymore and you don't have that much of a focus on the actual teachers there or what you're doing in the school, because you know that you'll have tutors to help you out later on.
You really think a Yale professor is going to put up with that? I don't think so. And they're in for a rude awakening. And so is that kid who's used to having the parent negotiate their life. And now they're there at Yale, SC, Stanford, university that shall not be named. And they realize, A, my parent's not here to win the battles. I'm in it on my own, and I don't know what to do. Because I've been so programmed and cookie-cuttered, I can't think for myself.
I remember the first time I took the SAT 1, on the day the scores came out, I walked into the speech room and I heard a classmate going, OMG, my SAT score sucks, and he was all complaining about it, and it was like the end of the world, and then someone finally asked, so what did you get? And it was the same score I got. And I was like, okay, well, that's great. It was just that kind of environment where whatever you have is not good enough. There's always someone that's doing better than you. I guess individually, some people were better able to cope with it than others. I guess I got a little lucky because, I don't know, it wasn't that bad for me, but I can see how it could get bad for others.
I've had students cutting, just they cut their arms. I've had anorexia. I've had bulimia. I've had suicidal students. I've had students get abused, you name it, all kinds of pressure, just implosions of all kinds of psychological means trying to deal with that pressure, especially at that age. They're not really fully capable of dealing with it mentally.
A lot of our students, I think, are giving their best, but they're literally burning their candle at both ends. And so at what point in college does that kid snap? Because they've had all this pressure on them.
College acceptances are extremely random, and you know this beforehand in high school because teachers say it. The second piece of evidence that you have is when people get in, and in your head, no one says this out loud, but in your head you'll go, why did that person get in? Why did this person not get it? And you'll compare because you've been going to these you've been going to school with these friends for so long. You know what every person is doing. You know what classes they're taking. You know what extracurriculars they're taking. You know what grades they're getting. And so when people do or don't get into schools, you question it. And that gives you another hint that it's random. Third piece of evidence is when you actually go to college. Now that I'm at Penn, there is a huge range of people there. In high school, you have this image of Ivy Leagues, and you think, wow, they must be really smart. Or, oh, you go to this school, you must be really smart, or you must do this. When you get there, you realize that it's completely different because people are from across the country, people are from out of the country, and they did so many different things. And sometimes you'll wonder, like, how can it be that all of these people are in the same school when the truth is there's a huge range in scores, in GPAs, all of those things. And so the takeaway is you try your best, but there's just, sometimes you don't know. Sometimes there's just no guarantee. That's why don't worry so much about the end and just worry about trying your best.
Well, everybody in high school is trying to figure out the big secret, the formula to get into college. But the reality is when you get to that point, you realize there is no secret and there is no formula. So what are we supposed to do to help ourselves and our friends get into college?
Successful in high school, I think, is someone who really tries to, to stretch and learn. And this maybe not only high school, but even in college, stretch and learn as much as possible. What their bounds are, try to get closer to where the boundaries are and stretch them even further. So I think someone who's successful is someone who learns more about themselves and tries to exert themselves, to the fullest extent possible. And I think that would be very, very helpful to them.
What do you think that the ultimate goal for students in high school? What should it be?
What I think or what they think?
Both. What do they think the goal is, and what do you think the goal should be?
I mean, they want them, well, of course, they want to get into a good college. And I want them to get into a good college too. But not because they have good grades on the transcript. Okay, on top of the good grades, I want to see that they actually understand what they are doing. Okay, I don't need to see straight A's. I don't mind seeing, a couple C's or a couple B's. But if the students are really learning the material and through the process, they find out what they like most so they can pursue further when they go to college.
I think college should be a goal, but also, again, being healthy, both mind and body, being healthy, taking a variety of things here, but not overloading. Make friends, enjoy your time here. It's hard to be a teenager, so it's really kind of important to enjoy when you can. So hopefully it's not all pressure for 4 years and then all of a sudden you're out and that's all you remember of Arcadia High School. That's depressing. Hopefully you can build some good times in there. Well, you keep in mind that the academics is important. There's balance. That's the most important thing always in life is balance. If you can create balance in life, you're going to have a successful life.
So the people that have that spirit, that spark, that motivation, they're the ones who are going to go the farthest in life, in college, and even in high school. So I think there's something to that. There's got to be more than studying for studying's sake. There's got to be some love there.
So I started, I think, when I was 3-ish.
Alright, so hi, my name's Ross Donovan. I'm from Littleton, Colorado, and I went to Chatfield High School. And 同学们，我建议你们就是尽量多多学习，然后就是你一定要让你就是申请大学的时候，你一定要让你自己更独特，然后更特殊，然后你特殊的 点就是或者你的优点，你一定要就是着重，然后让那个大学你申请的大学知道你多特别，然后让你们更想要你。I taught myself Mandarin Chinese in high school and got to travel there. Got to travel to China last summer for a month and just kind of live with the family.
Hi, my name is Erin Purdy. I'm from Long Island, New York. I went to Smithtown High School East.
Hi, my name is Kelly Furukawa, and I am from Mercer Island, Washington, but I've been living in Santa Barbara, California for the past 3 years.
My name is Brandon Holt. I am from Nashville, Tennessee. I attended school at Martin Luther King Magnet High School.
My name is Max Schreiber, and I live in Boca Raton, Florida. I went to the Alexander W. Dreyfus School of the Arts.
Hi, my name is Diana DeBudiazel, and I just graduated Southside High School in Rockville Center, New York.
I'm David. I live in Rockville, Maryland, and I went to Wooten High School.
Alright, so I'm Shayla. I'm from West Windsor Plainsboro High School North, which is in Plainsboro, New Jersey.
I am going to the Wharton School at the University of Pennsylvania, and I'm planning, as of now, studying marketing and management.
I'm going to Princeton next year to study math.
Next year I'm going to the University of Pennsylvania for their Jerome Fisher program in management and technology.
I'm in Princeton University next year.
I'm going to Princeton next year.
Next year I'll be going to Princeton, and I'm thinking of studying Spanish and Portuguese languages and cultures, and potentially pre-med.
This year I took multivariable and linear algebra, independently through UW-Madison.
And we go into local senior facilities, and we kind of make friendships and connections with the elderly women in our community through makeovers and manicures. And that was another thing that I founded in my high school.
I've been part of a youth-run nonprofit organization called Everybody Dance Now that provides free hip-hop dance classes, enrichment opportunities, and community service outlets to youth in the community who would otherwise not have access to them. And I also love to cook and, hang out with friends and be a typical teenager.
Just do what you want to do. Don't just join things so that it can look good. Join the things that you really want to do, and it will show on your transcript. I wrote an essay about me doing drama, that's what I do. I did drama and musicals, and I wrote an essay about that and how that relates to psychology and what I wanted to study. So if you just do what you want to do, then they'll see it and they'll understand and they'll choose you based on that. They won't just choose you because, you have 20 clubs under your belt. You need to specify, pick a niche, pick something that you really want to do, and then go with it.
All the things I was involved in, there was a purpose, there was a cause that I was passionate about. Why I was passionate, I don't know.
Stay true to yourself. The biggest thing colleges want to do is get to know who you are and find out how you may fit into their school. Don't worry about trying to become this perfect person. The entire process is holistic. They look at everything that you send in to create a genuine profile of yourself. And as long as you stay true to yourself, you will find success now and for years to come.
Don't try to make yourself into a resume. Just be who you are, and a resume will be built from that.
What kinds of things make you excited, makes you want to wake up every day and go do it, and then, use that knowledge or discovery of yourself to take the next step.
Pursue the things that you do love and be great at those. Be good at everything, but be great at those things. Because then you won't be so overwhelmed with things that you hate that you are distracted and can't do the things that you love and do things that serve other people.
You can point to a student and you say, oh, well, maybe their grades aren't as great or their SATs aren't great or whatever, that maybe their likelihood of getting in is going to be that much lower, but you just never know in the end, right? And even if you have everything right, you've got the perfect SAT scores and the, awesome GPA and everything else looks fabulous, it's not, nothing's a sure thing. And so, so feeling like there's some magic bullet, some formula, it's like, oh, if I just make sure I get SATs right and I've got these things on the extracurriculars, then this person will get in. It's not.
About half of the schools I applied to came out on the same day. And they come out around 2 p.m. and on a school day. And so I came home, found the letters, found that I got rejected from everything except one. And so it was pretty clear to me. It was, it's very straightforward, I think.
I think that as time passes, you feel kind of numb towards it. I mean, I definitely remember the first day, the day of Ivy League letters. That it was crazy. I mean, it kind of blurred through just because I just remember a lot of tears, a lot of just emotion, and then I guess as the months went by, it was still emotional. I mean, to say honestly that the pain doesn't go away, and if you keep thinking about it, the pain will never go away. But what I learned from reading a book by Kathy Buckley, she's a deaf comedian, was that pain has a limit. I mean, and that limit is what you make of it. So, I mean, the pain can last forever if I made it last forever and if I kept dwelling on it. But for me, it's easier to just kind of put it aside and look to the future. And I'm looking to the future, and I'm going to a great school that I know I'm going to be really happy in, and that makes it all okay.
Where it's like everyone has this dream school or this ideal of, I would really fit in at Harvard, or like I would really fit in at Yale, that sort of mentality. But something that we always tell underclassmen or incoming seniors, where it's like ready for college apps, like that kind of like woo, excited feeling, is that you shouldn't be too nervous, because in the end, the place that you end up SIRing to, where it's like, yes, I'm going here, ends up being the place you fall in love with.
When you know you're going to a certain place, you look at it with a different point of view. And it really is different, because you start to look at it and then you start to imagine yourself there. It's not what is in the school that I want to know for interviews or the application, but you think, what is in this brochure? And you read a library name and think, well, I might go to that library. You know, and you read different things and you think, I might do that. And it's true of any school. Any school has specific things that you can imagine yourself in, and then you start to realize that there's so much in that school that you haven't seen before. I could not be happier at Penn. But to tell you the truth, I have to say that I believe it has less to do with Penn specifically and more to do with my decision to really love it there. You know, I see people who really love Penn, but I also know people who don't like it and who have really bad experiences. And I see it at every school. You know, I talk to my friends in high school who are everywhere from, you know, West Coast to East Coast, public and private. And there are people who love it and people who hate it. And that tells me one thing, that it's really not about the school itself. That it has a lot to do with your own decisions, what you do there, and your mindset when you're there. And if you have an open mindset that says, you know, I could potentially really love this place, and you go look for the things that you love, and you do what you want, you have your priorities, and you set those priorities, and you chase those priorities, then you can really love it.
People look too much at the names, I think. They go, I want to apply to Princeton, Yale, Harvard, and see which one I get into. And parents think if my kid goes there, to become a great doctor, save the world. You know? And, okay, that could happen. But I think what you need out of a college decision, this is my advice to everyone who's applying to college now, find a place that will fit you best, that will make you the happiest. Because one thing that I didn't look at when I applied to college the first time was that, you know, I kind of said, GW's a cool school, White House, cool stuff. I would have to live with that decision for 4 years. No matter what my parents say, no matter what your parents say, you are the one who's going to have to live with that decision for 4 years of your life. Arguably the 4 most important moments of your life, 4 important years of your life. Because the 4 years there is going to decide for you what you do for the rest of your life. So find a place that fits you best, where you'll become the happiest.
I think in many careers, the name brand isn't that important. I think if you go to a college where you are engaged, where you feel like you're part of that community, that learning environment, where you're challenged, where you are getting an excellent education, that means so much more than going to the name brand.
Is that a college enables you to become the best that you can be. And it's about finding the college that can enable you the best to be what you were born to be.
Look directly at the camera this time, Spawn. You're going to say, Dear 9th grade me, pause. Dear 10th grade me, pause. Dear 11th grade me, pause. Dear 12th grade me, pause.
Dear 9th grade me.
Dear 9th grade me.
Dear 9th grade me.
Dear 9th grade me.
Get more sleep.
Dear 9th grade me.
Dear 9th grade me.
Don't be afraid.
High school is a time of growth.
When you discover who you are.
So don't be afraid to try new things. You should have tried out for speech and debate earlier.
Find what you love.
Do what you love.
Dear 10th grade me.
Dear 10th grade me.
Dear 10th grade me.
Don't stress out. Everything will be okay.
Dear 10th grade me. Dear 10th grade me.
Don't worry too much.
And you have to work hard.
But that B you got in AP Bio doesn't matter anymore.
Don't forget to keep on discovering yourself.
And doing what you love.
Dear 11th grade me.
Dear 11th grade me.
Dear 11th grade me.
Dear 11th grade me.
Don't eat the noodles that Mom will serve you on May 27th.
Dear 11th grade me.
Dear 11th grade me.
Dear 11th grade me.
You're doing great.
Don't let those APs freak you out.
Don't worry about what people think about you.
Keep studying.
Never give up.
Never give up.
Even if it's 3 or 4 a.m. in the morning and you have 4 pages of your paper left, keep working hard.
It will be worth it in the end.
And dear 12th grade me.
Dear 12th grade me.
Dear 12th grade me.
Don't have regrets.
Dear nervous high school senior me.
Stop being so nervous.
Don't let any college application
or college admission decision
tell you who you are
or what you are capable of.
You are the author of your own life story.
Not a college.
Not an admissions officer.
Know that everything will be okay. Just turn the page.
Dear 12th grade me.
Please.
Cherish every moment.
Hang out with friends.
Don't have regrets.
This year will be fun if you want it to be fun.
Have fun.
Have fun.
Have fun.
Have fun.
Study hard.
Have fun.
I know that life is good.